those of you that are returning and those of you that are new, welcome to my platform. My name is Astraea Love, and I'm going to be doing a reading for you guys today. So again, I hope everybody has had a good day wherever you guys are at in the world. God bless you and peace be with you. All right. Please know that my readings are timeless, which means whenever you get to this reading, there's going to be messages in here for you. I suggest that you guys watch all of the readings on both of my platforms. I have this platform, which is called Astraea Love, Astraea Love. And I have another platform called the Psychic Tarot Angel Oracle. On my second platform, I'm just waiting for it to be approved by YouTube, which is taking forever. But, so it's not monetized yet. But on this platform is monetized. So if any of you have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I will pause the collective reading and I will set a 20-minute timer and I'll answer your questions. Okay? Or question. One question per 20 minutes. And then just try to state your question the most clear way possible. Make sure that it does have to do with you, because I don't answer questions about other people that are either not in the picture, have, like, some people in the past have come to me and be like, oh, tell me what's going on in these people's lives. No, I won't do that. Why? Because, you know, you coming to me is one thing. That's you giving me free will to ask God, the Holy Spirit, what's going on. Okay? Jesus Christ. But when it comes to other people, I'm not going to invade their privacy, and I'm not going to reveal information about them because I don't want it to be used against them. All right. So, what else? Okay. So for those of you that are interested, I have 2 books that are tagged. Welcome everybody coming in. I have, if you could like this video, make sure you're subscribed, tap the notification bell. All that stuff really helps this platform stay alive. There will be 2 books that I will be discussing at the end of the reading. So if you are interested in either of these books, stay till the end of the reading, and then I will do a little bit more in-depth talk about them. Okay, so the first book, and these books are both tagged, they're linked in the description box below, and they're tagged in the tagged products, okay? So the first book is called The Truth of God. It is an advanced intuitive living workbook, and it's written by Michael Steadman, who is a doctor of divinity. So I'm going to read you the back of the book, but I've been using the techniques in this book for about 10 years now with success. And there is not a day that goes by that I don't use them. So this is me throwing you guys a bone, letting you know basically where I'm coming from. So the truth of God is an evolutionary encounter with that which we know as God, gaining new perspective into who we are and from where we came. First, the journey to God takes you to the realm where it all began, making many discoveries along the way. Next, the story of God explains what has seemed to be indescribable, creation and the path that led to what we perceive to be reality. Last, in the spiritual workbook, Michael gives information and techniques that will allow us to free ourselves from those ideas and emotions that are hindering our spiritual progress, and methods to open up the channel between the conscious mind that we are aware of and the inner consciousness that many are becoming aware of. So yeah, I use the techniques in this book every day. So the first technique is the God technique, which gives you the ability to connect with your higher self, God, so you can rise above whatever's going on, be looking out through the eyes of Source, and have see a bigger picture, have a bigger perspective. The second technique that you'll see me use during the reading is the joy versus anger technique. And if you see me asking questions like, oh, is this about this or is this about that? I'm not asking anything outside of myself. I'm literally using the joy versus anger technique, which works on clairsentience, which is clear knowing. So yeah. So gives you a yes and no answering system off of your gut feeling that you can then ask questions, okay? Then there's the mind technique, which gives you the ability to clear the thoughts and beliefs and mental and emotional baggage that's blocking you and creating the reality that you're experiencing. Then there is the 1 to 10 ratio. You'll see me use that from time to time. 1 being the lowest compatible, 10 being the highest compatible. This book will teach you where things are at compatibility wise. And then there's the preemptive strike. So if you know that you have a thought or belief or a storyline about yourself that you don't want to keep around, okay? Negative beliefs, traumas, etc., emotions, then you write them down and then you go through each and every one of them and you clear them. Okay, so that is The Truth of God, Advanced Intuitive Living, written by Michael Steadman, who's a doctor of divinity. The link to that is in the description box below. And the tagged product, I have this tagged as a product to attach to the platform. The second book I'm going to talk about is for those of you that want to learn to read cards for yourself and for others. I, for one, did not have anyone to teach me. So I created Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. And I'm just going to read the back of the book. For those of you that are interested, I have this book linked in the description box below. And I have the original Quick and Easy Rider-Waite Tarot with the descriptions on the cards. If you learn these cards, you can go to any specialty deck. And when they give you abstract pictures that have nothing to do with the cards, you will know what the card actually means. So I have this, I wrote the book off of the original Rider-Waite. Okay, so you definitely want to use this with this book. I mean, you could use another deck, but it'll just give you more accurate information, and you'll learn the system of tarot with the Quick and Easy Rider-Waite. So this book was inspired by the Ars Goetia spirit known as Vassago. He has assisted me in designing the different tarot card spreads in this book so that they cater to your personal experience. I, for one, know how difficult it can be to read cards for yourself due to our personal attachment to the outcome. This book will assist you in getting past that blockage and obtaining the spiritual truth that will set you on your divine life purpose, aka spiritual path. This book of never before created major arcana spreads references the standard Rider-Waite, the Rider Tarot deck for all explanations, and includes spells and rituals for each of these 22 cards. Different card combination descriptions are gifted from my years of practical knowledge and are included in the additional notes section. So just to let you guys know, if any of you have any personal questions, please don't spam the chat with that. Send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I will pause the collective reading and I will answer your question. Okay, so those books, this deck we're going to use are tagged in the products and they're linked in the description box below. All right, so we are calling upon the Most High God and the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ and the Ascended Masters, our spiritual team of highest light and resonance, including the archangels, our guardian angels, and I think I said ancestors, spirit guides, guardian angels, archangels, any other benevolent beings that Jesus approves of and God approves of, that are on our spiritual team of highest light and resonance. We call in our higher self, our soul, the divine realm, into this reading and to every other reading. We ask that God, Jesus Christ, the Ascended Masters, the Holy Spirit, put a protective hedge of fire around us, okay, keeping us safe. Again, there's like not really anything that we need to be kept safe from. Spiritually, it's usually just people who are demonically possessed that like to come on the platform and bully people. So again, I do apologize for those people, and I will block them when I see them being weird psychopaths. I will block them. Okay, so don't worry about that. But yeah, God, we just want to say thank you for everything that you're doing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you so much. All honor, glory, worship, and praise goes to my higher self, your higher self, the Most High God, for everything that I'm able to do. I would not be able to do it without my soul, the divine realm, and the Most High, and Jesus Christ, and the Ascended Masters, and my spiritual team of highest light and resonance. So I love them so much, and I know that they're always with us. I can feel them, I can see them, and I just know that they're always present and they're always aware. So I just want to say to them, thank you for protecting the collective. Thank you for protecting us. Thank you for prospering us. And thank you for uncloaking these messages so that they can get to the people that need to hear them. We love you, we love you, we love you. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. Okay, let's get the likes up, you guys. So by watching my readings, you are agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled. Please be on your best behavior because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. By watching my readings, you're agreeing to not attack, bully, or persecute me, anybody in the comments, or anybody in the chat. That's just unnecessary. Bullying and harassment and making fun of people and all that is really unnecessary. Judge not that you be not judged. Don't go around judging people. You have no idea how God is using other people. And so again, I know it's a generalized demonization of every single thing that is not Jesus, but people need to get their shit together and stop trying to call down. God is not going to judge another person that's in their calling. Point blank, period. And my beliefs are different than your beliefs. You don't have to believe what I believe, but I will tell you this. Everybody's entitled to believe what they want to believe, as long as they're not inflicting harm upon others with those beliefs, okay? Like, for example, Hitler was a psychopath. He is allowed to believe whatever he wants to believe. At the end of the day, nobody should be listening to his beliefs because he was a murderous psychopath. And even though the German people literally elected him, it's not like he took the country by power or anything. I'm not laughing about that. I'm sorry. It's just astonishing to me that, you know, it's just astonishing that people would elect somebody like that. But I know that the state of Germany at that time, all the people who were Germans were being treated in their own country like second-class citizens. And obviously, because if they had a bunch of Jews living in the country, the Jews excel and they succeed at everything. Like, I believe that the Jewish people have access to some type of mathematical formula that causes everything that they do to multiply. And I also believe that they are blessed. So that could be why they continue to succeed. But anyways, I don't have any bad feelings towards them at all. But like I was just saying, you know, everybody's allowed to have their own beliefs and their own perspective, but what's not allowed is religious condemning, religious bullying, or trying to push those beliefs on other people. And I will never give you information that's bad information, okay? It comes from a divine source, aka my higher self. I'm not listening to, if anything were to come up and speak with me, I would rebuke it in Jesus' name, in God's name. And then obviously, if it's coming to speak with me, I would be like, what is the discernment here? What am I supposed to be learning? Because every experience that we have is a learning experience. Let's get the likes up, you guys. Please and thank you. Jesus's birthplace. Interesting. Is Israel. You know what? I always think Jerusalem, but I never think like where Jerusalem is actually located. Where's my chapstick? There it is. Hiding. And could you freaking imagine being pregnant and being on the back of a donkey? That would be like the most uncomfortable situation possible. Hell to the no. Hell no. So anyways. Okay, so yeah, we did the prayer, we did the contract. Okay, so somebody does not understand you, but the thing is like whoever this person is that we're going to be talking about, they don't want to understand you. Understanding you would mean that they would have to step outside of the box that they created for them. And why is this heating up? I'm getting like radiating heat coming off of this gold hematite, which is the best. This gold hematite is the best for repelling the evil eye. So maybe, and it's like physically hot. What in the hell? Maybe somebody is sending you the evil eye. They don't want to understand you because it means that they have to look at themselves, or they have to at least look at there being a possibility that there's something outside of the box that they've created for themselves and everybody else. And I will tell you right now that it's more than a possibility. If you believe in the divine realm and they don't, that is not your fault. You don't have to prove yourself. You're not on trial. This is what people need to understand. Just because they want to judge you doesn't mean God is judging you, okay? Just because somebody else wants to put you on trial, first of all, and when it comes to the spiritual realm, another person, unless there is some real incident, okay, like something actually happening between you and them, they can't just on a whim because they don't like your face or they don't like what you say or what you do or what you believe. They can't just put you on trial, okay? Like, I'm gonna tell you that right now. Some people think that they can because they're like, oh, I have a Bible, I have a Quran, I have a Torah. This book right here tells me that I can put anybody on trial by fire. That's like the definition of the witch burnings, whatever. What was it called? The witch, not the witch plague. Oh, my brain is going. Witch hunt, whatever that was called. That time frame where people were just Looney Tunes. So anyways, some people believe that they have the power to do that. Now, it's one thing if like you were attacking somebody, and I'm not saying that you are, I'm just using this as an example. Now, if somebody wanted to try to put you on trial spiritually and you were actually doing something to them, like rituals on them or praying against them or bullying them or making fun or whatever, I could go on and on, then there may be something that comes of it. But these people or this person is basically pissed off because they've used their regular method of targeting. You guys are targeted individuals. They've used their regular method of targeting you, and they see that none of it's working. You're not living, and I hate to use the word sin because all sin is a mistake, you're not living in these lower frequencies of making continual mistakes and being and offending the spiritual realm. So as far as like if it's one thing if you were doing wrong by others, if you were hurting people, if you were being a psychopath, if you were doing all bad things, okay, then somebody could easily possibly call judgment. And if they're doing better than you, that might go in the spiritual realm, okay? And you might get some karma. But I will say this, you can't have somebody that's lower ranked trying to call judgment on somebody that's higher ranked because they're a virtuous person. And so there's just no karma to back it up, So exactly, when they didn't have cars back then. I know. So so horrible. And obviously they could have sent one person to go get the census, find out how many people were in each town. They could have, find somebody that's good at counting. That would not be a good job for me. And then send them to go count all the people. Instead, they were like, no, all of y'all leave where you're at, come where we're at, and register yourselves. That's crazy. They would never do that now. They would have some automated system or send something in the mail. But this was like before mail even existed. I mean, how crazy is that? So yeah. I also feel like there's so much significance with Jesus being born in a barn next to animals, People say, oh, what, were you born in a barn? Well, Jesus was born in a barn and he did just fine. So, you could be born in a barn, as they say, right? Because you don't follow tradition. And again, these people's tradition, it's their tradition to judge people incorrectly. Like this is what they do. That literally, they quite literally believe that that God is the God of the Bible and that they can use these words like some type of spell and it will I don't know what that sound was, by the way, and it will cause some type of, and there's soundproofing everywhere, so what the hell, but it will cause some type of big commotion. Well, like I said, if you're already doing things that are not in alignment with your higher self God, then you will already be attracting karma. Is it necessarily this person's fault that something happens? No, not necessarily. They don't have power like that. When these people read from whatever book this is, if it's a Bible, the Torah, the Quran, or something else somebody else has written, when they read from it, it's hollow words. It's like not taken seriously. Because they don't understand, first of all, what they're reading. That's one problem. Second problem is they're taking it out of context, trying to use it in a whole different way. And the third problem is that, that's not what it's supposed to be used for. It's supposed to be for inspiration and healing, not for manipulation and domination and control and judging others. Like it's really nobody's job to judge somebody else. And because we don't, like I said, because we don't know how God is behaving in that book is not complete, because we don't know how God is acting in other people's lives. We don't know how God's using somebody. So again, that's why we don't judge. All right, so we're going to see what comes through. Candy Crush is a math game. I actually like Candy Crush, but it kind of can irritate me sometimes. I feel like the freaking levels get too hard at some point. And that could be why I've never looked at it as a math game. So we're going to see what's up with this person, why they're purposely trying to misinterpret you and not understand you. This person has seen people like you before, but they've done the same thing, tried to judge, tried to use whatever book they have to judge. And again, I don't feel like anything has happened to anybody with this person using this method. So I might as well go, like, because when they are using these words, nothing is triggering in the system because this person cannot be taken seriously. 3 of Swords. And this is their energy. Third-party situations. Good God. The 3 of Swords to me is like a lot of emotional pain. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. Sorrow and loss, arguments with a lover, marriage separation, incompatible lovers. You guys, please don't spam the chat with weird words, okay? And if you're talking about me, I will just remove you right now. This person, it seems to me like whenever I talk about God and Jesus, here comes somebody completely possessed by the devil. Yes, I can see that you are completely possessed and demonic. I'm completely aware of that. I just do not care. Okay? I don't care. Because you're a coward. You think you're a man. You're bullying a woman, and I can't respect that. I can't get behind that. And I'm not going to support your demonic behavior. Okay, go get an exorcism, go to therapy, go get help, please. Go pray. Because I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, and I report you to everything in existence. Okay. Sorry, you guys. So anyways, you're working on your taxes right now. That's awesome. Okay, let me get that person out of here. Yeah, you know what? You can always get an extension. Always get an extension. I don't know if they fine you if you get an extension, by the way, but I do know that you can get them. So besides the fact that this person is incompatible, maybe this person just got dumped, they're cruel, abuse, and this person is experiencing some type of emotional upheaval and separation. Okay, what does that have to do with you? Probably nothing, but this person will try to betray you at some point. So just be aware of that. And that's not to make you afraid. Like, do not be afraid. That's one thing that God says. Do not be afraid. These people have made too many mistakes. The 8 of Pentacles, they probably are judging you because of your job. I mean, how ridiculous is that? People really need to stop judging a book by its cover. I've seen legitimate, real angels, pretending to be homeless people, blessing every single person that comes and gives them money. And I'm like, oh, give me money. Let me go give it to this guy. Literally, not just so I can get blessed, but because I know that person needs it. But like literally, I can see that they're an angel in disguise. So when I look at people, I see more than just what everybody else sees, And I feel like you guys are the same. I feel like when you look at people, you see more than just what their job is, than what you actually see a soul. You see a living being. See, the internet objectifies us so much because we don't have physical contact. We don't share physical space with somebody, right? The space that we share is like internet space. It's not physical space. So it's easy to objectify other people, which is something we need to get out of the habit of, okay? And I get that you guys are not the type of people, they don't find you. Okay, well, that's awesome. But literally, I get that, like, you guys are the type of people that you're not, you're not going to like, you're not doing something for clicks or views. And I think that that energy is really important with whatever this work that you do. And this could be a side project. This could be something that you're starting, a new business, a new idea, whatever it is. But like literally, it could be a new trade that you're learning, a new profession, something that you're doing on the side, something that you think is like not going to take off. Look, I can tell you right now, it's your not having that burning desire to be like a clout chasing person that's going to bring in this success very, very quickly, because you don't have a bunch of stuff in resistance. When I look at people creating their realities, I can see how bad they want something, how much resistance they put into it, into focusing on not having it. It looks like to me, whatever this is that you do for work, it's easy for you to do. That's why you do it. You enjoy it, And if this is not your actual job, this could be in the future. Yes. So absolutely. Okay, so tarot comes from Italy, and nobody knows, this is the weirdest thing about it. Nobody knows exactly who invented it, but it came around in the 1400s, but it was a regular card game, like, how like Uno is a card game. So I don't know how they actually played the game of tarot, but again, back then, only royalty and very, very rich people had time to, first of all, sit around playing cards, and secondly, had tarot cards. Like, it was literally the elites, okay? Let's just say that. And so it wasn't used for, nobody even figured out that it could be used for divination till the 1700s, way later. And that was in like France. And so, obviously it spread throughout Europe, but somebody realized, oh, I can see things through these cards. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, that's how they kind of describe it online. But yeah, it's actually pretty interesting to me. I feel like it is very interesting. How Vassago explained tarot works is, while you're a human, you will experience every card in the deck. That's how it maps human consciousness. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. When I first started doing readings, I did not use cards. Cards were so abstract. No, I just would sit with people and talk, and we would just look into whatever's going on. Then I would use pieces of paper, write down all my notes, and I would give them the piece of paper so that they would remember the things that we talked about. And then I came across oracle cards. I think my first deck of oracle cards was Doreen Virtue's Past Life deck. And I started using that, and people were like mind blown. And I was like, okay, cards are cool. And then I came across the Goddess Tarot, and I learned that, but it wasn't the original Rider-Waite. And so I feel like, well, I wasn't as happy with the Goddess Tarot, let's just say that, as I am with the original Rider-Waite. The original Rider-Waite has the best depictions. They're the most accurate to the card. And anything that's a off branch of it is just taking on, it's like putting it through a filter, basically. So I get irritated when I have a deck that I'm using and I find out that, okay, well, this card is completely misrepresented, whether it's in the little booklet that they say, and I'll like look it up and see what it's supposed to mean. And I'm like, that's not what this card means, because I know the original, or the pictures are just way off. And I'm all about dressing things up, just to let you guys know, you don't need to be afraid of the tarot. Now, a lot of people will say that I'm the devil and that you shouldn't listen to me. They're going to say whatever they want to say. Look, tarot cards are just cards. It's the people that have the ability that are able to pick up on the information. Yes, the cards have words on them, but I don't really read the words every time I pull a card. I just read the energy. So same shit as before, only we're using cards with picture. And they map the human consciousness. So That's why I like them. But also, there is a downside to tarot. That's why I always give a disclaimer at the beginning and tell people, if these readings are to help you with your discernment, to help you with your abilities, please use your discernment. And if you feel like something resonates, take it to your higher self, take it into meditation, take it to a doctor, a lawyer, somebody that's a professional, before you apply any advice that you get off of anybody. Take it to your therapist, you know, depending on what type of advice it is. And that's just being responsible as a human being. And that's the best that we can do, is just try to become a little bit more aware of our own natural abilities and talents. See, you guys know that there's no get rich quick plan. I feel like there's a deception going on in this world where, and it's not that you can't get rich overnight. There was this one Adam Sandler movie where he literally does get rich overnight. Like, he has a wealthy family member that passes away that he does not know. He lives out on some type of farm. It is a hilarious movie, by the way. So funny. And then he comes into all this money, and like, there's all these, he has these butlers and these servants and stuff, and he's like giving them days off, and and they're like, no, we want to work. Like, this is our job. We need to get paid, you know? And he just builds a really good relationship. Oh my gosh, that's such a funny movie. Do I know different forms of divination? I know I've heard of them, but I don't use them. Yeah, I just use my abilities the way they work, and that works out pretty good to me. Yeah, I mean, I've looked in a crystal ball before, but that's not my, I don't think, to me, I'm not into scrying. To me, that's not a good form of divination. My abilities work naturally on their own, and I know that the information comes from the divine. And so, yeah. Also, I would be like kind of paranoid to see something in a crystal. I picked up on things before, but they were personally for me. They weren't for anybody else. So yeah, there are other forms. I don't even really consider tarot to be divination. Okay. I would consider divination to be like throwing bones, maybe runes. Runes are magical, but they're also, runes are like very, they're very different. They're magical symbols, they're letters to the alphabet, and they're also deep meanings with deities behind them, or deities, however you say that. So yeah, I don't know. I know that there's like pendulums, you know, I used to sell pendulums. Well, I would help sell pendulums at the metaphysical store. We ended up selling it, but yeah, I mean, it does work. If you get the truth of God, you develop a yes and no answering system within yourself. You don't need anything outside of yourself. And the link to that book is in the description box below. The Chariot. The Chariot's not a bad card. I know when I see it, sometimes I go, oh, okay, police, authorities. But you know what I'm getting here? I'm getting that the Chariot's your energy. You guys could be getting a new vehicle soon. You guys could be, the work that you're doing could be taking off. Like, it could be about to really take off and start moving very quickly. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. And so the Chariot to me is a card of like overcoming illness, success, comfortability. Having a vehicle that like gives you an element of comfort and strength, that, you know, and having a good vehicle. Now, I know what they're trying to do with the new vehicles. I've heard a lot about it. Oh, thank you. I love that Mother's Day gift. That's so adorable. That is so adorable. Happy Mother's Day to any of you that are mothers as well. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, I know that I know what they're trying to do with vehicles by putting in facial recognition and all of this stuff. They want to spy on us. But, you know, in the future, if we don't want to have that, we'll have to just get old cars and renovate them. I mean, Teslas are at the point where, you know, if somebody does a crime in a Tesla, the government can seize control of the vehicle. Like, that's how much information is shared. So the Chariot does talk about focusing on the battle at hand, but I don't feel like you guys are actually fighting anybody. This is probably just somebody that wants to fight with you, but they don't have, like, they don't have a leg to stand on. Let's just say that. They don't have a real reason to. Just because you are different than them doesn't mean that they need to fight you. It's like crazy. Yeah, the Four of Wands, this is talking about your creative goals and projects, your dreams for the future coming true, you know? Can everyone be a tarot reader? That's a good question. I'm not for sure. I don't think that, to be quite honest, I don't think that you can get supernatural powers from any type of demon or anything like that. I think it all comes from God. But yeah, I mean, anybody could get a tarot deck and read the descriptions and start somewhere. Yeah, I think anybody, because everybody, we all have clairsentience, which is when I talk about the truth of God, that's a gut feeling. It's like a sixth sense. So yeah, I do think that everybody could pick up tarot. Would they be accurate from the beginning? Just depends how strong their gift is and if they've got one or not. But you know, that's a good question. Somebody should do an experiment and see if that is possible. But I do feel like people who are supposed to be doing it will be led to it in a divine way. It won't cause problems for them. I mean, we're always, while we're people, going to experience some type of pushback. But, you know, to me, this looks like some type of victory that you're having. And I never get bad information. Like, I never, if something were to be like trying to talk to me in words, I would be like, get the fuck out of here, rebuke it. So I don't get bad information, whether it's about other people or about the situation. Like, some people will be like, oh, you're going to pass away on this. No, I don't speak shit like that into creation. Definitely never have ever gotten any information like that. So this completed project that you have, or something that you are completing already, it looks like a learning a new trade. It's interesting that we're talking about that, learning a new trade or profession, or it could be upgrading your skills, which could be like, let's say that you're 5 classes away from getting a degree in something or certification. That could be you finishing those 5 classes. Okay. And I also feel, though, like you guys are very natural, creative people. So just know that money does not equate to happiness. Okay. Your cup runneth over, you having your own connection within yourself to the kingdom of heaven, to God within you. That's what is the cup overflowing energy. So the thing is that you have people that are looking at you being like, wow, this person's, coming up in life, they're having a glow up, which is like you're being seen, people are noticing you, your respect is earned, you're getting new things, you're moving forward at a very quick rate. And this person thought maybe they stuck you in the freezer. People will do that because they're weird. People will try to manipulate the elements of nature to stop people from discovering who they are, from being rewarded, all of that stuff. And all of that crap, messing with anybody else's free will or their destiny, is always going to backfire. It's just not something that I would ever do. Yeah. So I feel like this is a good energy getting off the ground here with the Chariot, you moving forward. I also feel like whatever financial issues in the past that you've had, it's coming full circle to where those are going to be resolved. So like maybe you could be getting ready to pay off a car note, and then you're not going to have that extra bill. Like, that's resolving something. I also get that the work that you do now is going to create future opportunities for the work that you do then. But you know what? I really do think, to answer your question, that if somebody could just randomly pick up cards and then be able to see the future and stuff like that, I think that they would probably be doing that. And there is a lot of readers, but I put it to the test. I put it to the test with spirit. Okay. And I used to listen to a lot of readers, and the other psychic that I work with was like, you know what? These messages are very toxic and they're putting you in fear all the time. and that's not what they're supposed to do. And so I kind of cut back on that and am doing a lot better for it. And now, but I'm still like a horror junkie. I love the whole Lovecraft stuff. I love horror. So now I listen to like shortened versions of movies that I probably will not ever watch. So it's just changing the focus. I feel like this other person is emotionally unwell, okay? They're expecting you to fall down, scrape your knee, and not want to pursue this career anymore or move forward. Like they're expecting you to just give up. You've already made it past some type of major like mountain milestone blockage, and you're not living stuck in your mind. This person is living stuck in their mind, stuck in their heart. Like they have something with their consciousness that's going on that is trapping them. It feels to me like the work that you do frees you. And if you're a writer, you're very creative. If you are a singer, dancer, whatever this is, maybe you want to do hair, I would invest in it. Because literally, think of it this way. If you're doing something that helps people, there's always going to be somebody that's pissed off about it because they don't feel like they can benefit personally. Yeah, fake readers at that. Yeah. So I always test it. And then when I pick up that, no, this person has no idea what the fuck they're talking about, then I just stop listening. And I used to listen to Sloan Bella and all the stuff that she was talking about. And then I checked it in spirit and I was like, this is not accurate. Some of it was, but some of it wasn't. The emperor, forget the fact that this person looks old. You can be a 20-year-old emperor. They're just showing you that because it's like the emperor is the highest ranking masculine card. And again, everybody has feminine and masculine energies, but not everybody has divine feminine and masculine energies active at all times. So this is showing me divine masculine energy, you being a boss, like you being your own boss. And then also it shows me that your dreams, whatever you're dreaming about, not like in the dream state, but whatever you're aspiring to, let's say that you are a very good manifester. Like you could think of something very specific today and it shows up tomorrow. I feel like that is something to pay attention to. That because that ability is what's making this very fast and like I was saying at the very beginning is that you don't have where people when they get into a certain type of career, they want something to happen really fast, like boom, 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 without doing the work. You're not in this energy of desperation of, oh, it's gotta work out. It's gotta be on my time. You're allowing God to do it on God's time. And this is why it's happening at the perfect time, because it's divine time, because the divine is involved. And I promise that, when you allow God to take control in your life and start working through you, you'll realize that, okay, it may not happen right when I snap my fingers because God's not a genie. And it may not happen right then and there, but will happen in the time that it's meant to. And I'll be much happier for it to happen when I'm ready for it than for it to happen when I'm not ready for it. And I feel like everybody has different things that they go through. So there's not one person on this planet. This is why I do not want to be like I don't want to be other people, because I know that they have their own challenges. You are going to be in a position to where you can help heal other people that are probably in a weaker position. That could be women, children. 5 of Cups. Not that I'm stating that women and children are weaker, but I'm just saying, like, oh, the birds. They're like, they're so funny. 5 of Cups. This person is so upset. They're crying. The 5 of Cups card is crying over spilt milk. This person is like mega upset. They're losing a relationship, a valued possession, a home, a friend, something major. Wow, 5 of Pentacles on the bottom. They're losing something that's major. And, they're looking at you like you're a viable option. But this person wants to tear you down to build you back up. Like, that's not going to happen. You're not a horse. This is not break the horse in. I love horses, by the way. This is not that. If they wanted to break somebody, they should have gone to somebody who is a weaker individual, like the ones that you're probably going to help defend or that your art is going to inspire. Okay. But I would not tell these people to go find other people because, that what they want something that's too big for them. I will say that. Your life will not fit these people or this person. I do get that there's two people here though. And this emotional upheaval, heartbroken energy that this person is in will pass, okay? It's a temporary thing. It's not permanent. Knight of Swords. And when it does pass, this person is going to, like, they're in this aggressive energy. I feel like this person, okay, let me just ask, is the Knight of Swords actually this person? No. Okay, the Knight of Swords knows this person. Yes. Okay, so maybe the Knight of Swords is one of the people that these people are separating. They're going in different directions in life. I'll tell you that. The Knight of Swords, I don't think he's actually he, she, it, they, them. I don't think this person's actually in the military. I feel like they just have a very strict time scheduled, like there's something about this person that it would make it seem like they are in the military, but I don't think that they actually are. They're just they could be like a Taurus or a Capricorn. They have a military demeanor, but they're not actually in the military. Or maybe they were, but it wasn't for long. So yeah, this is definitely a situation that has like literally, why is this even coming up, Spirit? I guess because somebody wants to charge at you because of the work that you're doing. And they feel like you're just going to get away really quickly. Like, get away with what though? What is this person trying to even accuse you of? Two of Cups. Maybe somebody is being like, oh, that person stole my spouse. No, you didn't. You're not up here doing that. The Two of Cups is also a divine partnership with the universe. It does talk about maybe this other person is afraid that you're going to heal a relationship with the person that they are moving away from. You know, if they're that concerned, why are they trying to move in the opposite direction of this other person? So again, this person, they feel like their heart's broken forever. It's not. Yeah, this is also about a connection made in business. The start of a new relationship will have a dramatic effect on your life. That doesn't necessarily mean a romantic one. It could be a business relationship. You know, you could end up working with somebody, collaborating, and this person wants to like put a monkey wrench in that. What that means is, like, let's say you have gears that are going, that's all working, making something work correctly. They take a monkey wrench, throw it in there, and the gears stop working so that it gets blocked. You're not allowing this person to get anywhere near you, and you also know that they are bad luck. This person could be an engineer of some type or a planner. King of Wands. Okay, let me ask about this person. Is this the same person wearing two different faces? Yes. So this person, whoever they are to you, will appear to you sometimes as a King of Wands, very overly sexual person, and then sometimes as a Knight of Swords. They have two faces, but, you know, their energy is pretty split. Speaking about splitting consciousness, dang. Also, just be aware that somebody thinks that you don't deserve to have the position that you're in. I think we'll let God decide, not man. But yeah, it looks to me like somebody is just like really, really thinking that you don't deserve something, but you're over here working for it. So I don't know why they would say that. Two of Wands. You're like focusing on making the world a better place. Your wishes for the future are in alignment with the highest and best good of all. This is why you're basically unstoppable. And that's what the Chariot energy is showing me. I also see that if there was police in this case, like if somebody was trying to bring false charges on you, the police know that this person's a whack job. Like they already know that you're not guilty of something. So they're probably not going to even look into whatever this person is talking about or has talked about, because it's just not accurate. I also feel like it doesn't take a genius to look at you to figure out that you are doing something that's positive, okay? Like the most basic of people could look at you and see that you're a good person. That's what I'm trying to say. The Two of Pentacles. You could be about to receive a letter in the mail. It could be a letter. It could be a document. It could be, you know, you getting a passport. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please and thank you. This could also be you receiving a message from the divine realm or something through email. or through a text message or something like that. I feel like you're receiving good messages, that your projects are being supported by the divine, that you're free to move forward unencumbered, I think I said that wrong. You're free to move forward, not having to be blocked by these people. And whatever this new project is, it's going to bring you into the energy of being like a leader, okay? And that doesn't mean that you're going to have a cult and all of that. It just means that you're going to be able to show people the correct way, which is being a good person. And this is like all coming full circle. The difference between you and this other person is that they don't care about other people. I don't even think that this person cares about themselves, because they need to work on this broken childhood wound, split energy that they have. Okay, they don't need to be projecting their failings onto you and to your success. The sun, because you're over here to spread the light. You're like probably helping, like I was saying, women and children, people heal their inner child. You could be inspiring people with your messages. I feel like continue to move forward with that. If you receive messages, then, and obviously they're good, that they don't come from the devil. They're not saying to go hurt somebody or hurt yourself. Okay, if you're receiving those things, it's for you to use them for yourself. But then if you feel like sharing, share them with the world. You don't have to, but it looks like if you do, you're going to have a lot of people that look to you when something happens in their life for stability. Judgment. And this person, like I said from the very beginning, they think that because they read a book or whatever, they're doing, that they can just have judgment called on you and end your life. Like, this is not the, whatever hundreds where you can just point at somebody and call them a witch and then everybody burns them at the stake. That is not where we're at. Okay. And this person does not want to be found out that they're the ones working. Like, they don't want you to figure out that it's them that's been trying to betray you. I don't even think that you've let this person get close to you like that to even betray you. But they want to separate you from your soul contract. Not possible. Okay, these people cannot go and rewrite the stars and change history and shit. Like, I don't care what they do. What they're not going to do is change what God has for you. Okay, and God has a long, healthy, happy life for you, with success and with whatever you decide to ask. But remember, you don't have to go to a lower vibrational energy. These people are not as highly ranked. Like I said, you're showing up the Emperor. This person is showing up the Knight of Swords and King of Wands. Those are lower ranked cards. They can't call judgment on a higher ranked person without having a serious grievance. Okay. And your success is not a good enough reason for them to be grieving. Like, this person is paranoid as hell. Okay. Like, they're paranoid that you're just going to fly away or something. Even if you do, whose business is that? I feel like if people would just mind their business, they would be in such a better position. But this person is like completely losing their minds. They feel like you've done something to cheat the system. No, it's called hard work and dedication. It straight up says in the Eight of Pentacles card, which was your first card here, that there's no get rich quick plan. So this is not like something that just to let you guys know, if you have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I'll pause the collective reading and I'll hit a 20-minute timer and I'll answer your question. But this is not like you just all of a sudden overnight a genie appeared and granted. I mean, this is how people think though, because they don't see every step that you took that led you to getting the success that you have now. They don't understand. This is why they can't break you and they can't unmake what you've already done, because they don't understand how you did it. In their eyes, all they've done is look at you and see you become successful, and they're like, that person cheated. No, this person was not watching the rest of the time that you were working. I don't know what to tell them, but they're the ones that are up under judgment. This is why judge not that you be not judged. If this person, this is a one person so far, that's a psychopath that's got two personality. If this person, or they have let's say they have the way that they are as the King of Wands, their outside appearance, how they want people to perceive them, as the Knight of Swords. like they're a badass. There's nothing badass about this person. But yeah, you know, they wanted to call judgment on you. Have you judged? Have you completely put down, you know, burn the witch, burn the witch. It's giving that ignorant ass energy. And now they're judged. Now they're being judged. And that's why it says, judge not that you be not judged. It's not any, unless you're somebody who is a trained professional judge, you know, those people, they are put in a position to judge other people for things because they're trained. They went to schooling for it. Okay. They're educated in it and they have experience. So they hopefully can make a better call. These people are not trained in anything. Them reading empty words from a book that they don't really believe in like that. Like these people will say an eye for an eye, but you never went and plucked the eye out of this person. What are they talking about? They're acting from their emotions, from jealousy, from fear, from paranoia, from envy, from lust, from greed. And they don't want to see you succeed because that means that you're showing the world that you're doing better without having contact with this person and their crazy mess. This person is a whole mess. King of Pentacles, and you can't be bought. Okay, now this is a different person. So yeah, I feel like this person that's very emotionally and mentally unstable, they keep going to a King of Pentacles, probably asking for loans, paying this person to do some type of ritual or whatever. And this King of Pentacles is only a King of Pentacles because they scam. They scam people, and I will tell you right now, we don't own our souls to sell them. That's why I don't believe in that. But I do believe that people can give their allegiance to something, and this person gave their allegiance to money. They worship money, you know, and they worship things that you can get with money, items. Eight of Wands. This King of Pentacles is at the crossroads asking, where did I go wrong? What happened? And they're about to find out that, oh, well, like we said, you can't sacrifice the soul of another person. You don't have liberty with that. If that person belongs to God, they've given their life to God, you do not have liberty to sacrifice them for shit. You're not getting anything. These people can continue to the crossroads, but they'll be rejected every single time. When it comes to you, maybe they can do this to each other, but I'm serious. When it comes to you, it's rejected. It's no. It's a no. It's a failed sacrifice. Because why would you, if Jesus already died for our sins, how would it make sense in any type of way for you to be sacrificed, for these people to continue to commit crimes and sin? That does not even make any sense. This is why it's not allowed, and it's being completely 100% blocked. And these people are up under judgment for all the people that they legitimately did sacrifice with this witch hoe, Queen of Wands person. Now this Queen of Wands owes a sacrifice and they're looking at you. This is a pretty stupid situation that could have been 100% completely avoided had these people not gotten envious and jealous and greedy and needy. Okay. I even get that this Queen of Wands has more money. Like, what is their deal? Oh, they don't have power. Okay. Well, money doesn't equal power. I mean, it does if you're like the part of the 1 to 2%, but these people are not. Like, they're like barely even middle class people. So I don't know why they think that they can sell everybody else. This is like people who are doing some really shady stuff. Your divine soul contract that you're actively using is what's protecting your life because you're needed on this planet. These people, what purpose do they serve other than doing the darkness? Like, what purpose? What are they here to do for the planet to make it better? Oh, nothing. There's nothing that I can see that they can do. Also, for this situation, there's no ritual. These people are looking for a ritual to remedy the backfires of what they've already done that's backfired. There is no remedy that I know of other than God. God is the answer. Going within is the answer. Maybe these people should have asked themselves why they like to sacrifice things and other people for monetary success. Let's get the likes up, you guys. Yes, they are fear-based. Absolutely. That's what they count on is you. God says, do not be afraid. Literally, do not be afraid. Because fear is like it talks about it in the truth of God, how fear is like the opposite of spiritualness. It just lowers your frequency. These people are afraid. They're afraid because they know that it's a backfire, that their sacrifice didn't go through. They can't offer anything at the crossroads. I feel like these people just need to go do something completely different than what they're doing. Change their lives. The moon is not going to be used to sacrifice any person. That's not what it's for. These people, their personal faith and ethics have been tested, and they failed the test. And it's even says on the card paranoia, like they're afraid of not being able to give this King of Pentacles whatever they promised him. Well, also, this Queen of Wands has like literally put her own family members in danger by coming for you, by trying to steal your star, siphon it, bury it, take it, whatever, rewrite it. Absolutely not. We rebuke it in Jesus' name. But I will say that this person has had so many failed attempts when it comes to you. And they just think that they need to change the ritual. There is no ritual that's going to work on you. I don't know how to tell this person to let them down easily. They need to go to God and not ask God to do a ritual. God is not going to do no rituals on people. Like if God says that you are this natural born star, that you're here to spread the light, that you're a joy to this world, that you're a blessing, then that is what God intended for you. These people can't do anything about what God has for you. They might not, even with the devil's help. And the devil can't do anything for anybody. The devil is actually testing these people and knows that they're fake biatches. You see, the devil doesn't want people that are just going to sell themselves. That doesn't sound like loyalty to me. But yeah, these people are stuck in their shadow, stuck in their dark side. They're operating from a place of compulsion emotionally. And this is what's going to get them in trouble. Justice. Because like I just said, things will be evened out for you. Okay. Your projects are coming into view. And whatever you're manifesting is in alignment with the highest and best good of all. So anybody that wants to take that down, is going to have a very difficult time. Also, this devil is never actually against you. It's manipulating these people. Devil can't touch you. If you haven't noticed, it just manipulates everyone around you. That's the only way it can try to get at you, but it literally can't do anything to you, not directly, not physically, not spiritually. When you're covered in the blood of the Lamb, truly covered by God, when you have that connection within yourself and you can immediately at any point in time connect with God's energy, you become untouchable. And they may attempt to, but this devil's never really going to try to do anything to you because it knows it can't. Even the devil knows that it has limits. 5 of Pentacles. And when you love yourselves, you guys, such an important thing to love yourself unconditionally. That means no matter what you see in the mirror, no matter what people say to you, you still love yourself anyways. When you love yourselves, spell work will not work on you like it will work on people who don't love themselves, that are completely material based and have no sense of spiritualness or spiritual awareness. So it's just basically a waste of time. It is. I don't care if they go to voodoo. I don't care to what method they go to, Satanism, voodoo, whatever else is out there. There's just not anything that's of this world that's stronger than the creator of this world. And that creator is within you. And this 5 of Pentacles energy, this loss of a home, financial ruin, this is what these people are going through. They could be breaking up from one another. Well, that's probably for the best, because these people were no good for each other. Like, I don't know if you guys ever growing up had friends and then your mom would be like, you can't hang out with that person. This is what these people need. An intervention of God saying, you can't be around these other people. And you already know what time it is with these people, because that because you are succeeding and that you are gaining traction and all that, that something is broken off of you. That something was not, that something is over. And these people can sense it. And they're like, how do we get out of the 5 of Pentacles? Well, first of all, stop trying to sacrifice other people to the devil. Secondly, if you owe the devil, go to God, because God's the only thing that's going to fix it. And this person, they believe that the devil is still the answer. That's on them. Okay, they're going to see that the answer is justice, things being balanced out, things being fair, the evil not winning. How about that? That's justice. This person is like thinking that you picked up some type of spell book and then just manifested overnight. Like they think that you're working with some type of genie or something. You're not. You're just doing things that are in alignment. And this is what it looks like when they're in alignment. These people, you know, what you'll probably teach them in life is about alignment, because they'll never experience alignment the way that you do unless they choose to go within, because these people think that magic is the answer. No, you have natural magic. You don't have to do a spell. Like, you are standing in your power. These people think that magic is the answer to everything, and all it's done is get them in endless amounts of debt, trouble, and mixed in with the wrong type of people. Okay. Like, I feel like a parent saying that, you know, but yeah, like those are not the right type of kids, Johnny. Like, I literally feel like a parent saying that, because these people know, like, oh, I shouldn't be hanging out with witches and warlocks. I shouldn't be eating from these people ever. I mean, how can somebody like trust someone that they've literally paid to do magic on somebody else? How can they ever trust being around that type of person? They know that they can be easily bought and sold, that they can be easily bribed. Like, that to me would be really, really anxiety. I feel like this is why you stay away from these people. The Hierophant, these people are going to go to a religion, a cult, a secret society, a coven, a group, a prayer group, whatever. They're going to go to some, I get that this is something online that they're going to go to. It's not even in person. They're going to go to some type of like, what, mega church? What are those things online that people go to? And they're going to ask for help to get out of this Five of Pentacles energy. And they're going to realize real quick that these institutions, these covens, cults, etc., whatever, churches, religions, that these institutions are not there to give you help. They're there to take money from you. That's what these people are going to figure out. And they're going to be like, oh, if I don't, you know, and some of the pastors and preachers, whatever they're called, that are like, you know, with the microphone at these mega churches, some of them will straight up be like, oh, I'll pray for you if you give me this amount of money. And it's a ridiculous amount. It's not like $20. It's like $500, $1,000. Like, this ridiculous. And they'll be like, send your money in and get into the kingdom of heaven. They say really weird shit. And you're like, no, you're positioning yourself in hell. That's all. You're reserving a seat in hell with that type of stuff. And so these people are going to be searching the entire planet for the answer to their problem, when the answer to their problem is going within and connecting with their higher self, God, repenting and changing their ways. And then apologizing and paying reparations, or just not ever doing this stuff again, not ever playing in it again. Instead of trying to look for the next spell or the next spell book or whatever, they need to just stop, like put a pause it, because where they're going to go next, it's not going to be the answer. It's going to leave them more broke and more broken than when they started, which they didn't start at a good space. Sad. But I will tell you this, if these people would just turn it around, go within and face themselves, face up to what they've done, stop thinking that sacrifice is the answer. I don't know, you know, people look at Jesus and that's what they think. Oh, sacrifice that. Like, that's insane to me. Nine of Swords. Like I said, they're only going to find grief and despair and depression and guilt and feeling, you know, and if this is somebody that's going to go to somebody who's actually is a real deliverance pastor that can pray, get groups of people to pray over someone, this person's going to start manifesting, or these people will start manifesting low vibrational energies in front of everybody else's face. So I feel like the spiritual system that's set up will be able to figure out what these people have done, and then they'll tell these people to repent. And if they don't, then and it's true repentance, not okay, I'm sorry. It's actually being like, God, I come to you in a real way, being real about it. I don't know. I can't tell you the correct way to do it. Just, if you ever feel like you've hurt somebody, write them an apology letter. If you damage somebody something, send them some money, that type of thing. Acknowledge that whatever that was being done was wrong, and then do something to try to balance it out. Okay. And sometimes it gives people a lot of peace to hear, I'm sorry, but there's no amount of I'm sorry's that these people can say to you that's going to get you to turn around and walk towards them. And let me tell you this right now, for any of this stuff to go through that they want, which they still want, so there is no repentance for them because they still want your destruction. They're making it their own mission to have everyone misunderstand you. These are the only people that are misunderstanding you, though. 9 of Pentacles. They think that the only reason, this is like ridiculous. These people think the only reason that you've got something, that you're able to stand on your own 2 feet, that you're single, self-sufficient, stable. They think it's because you do magic. Wow. They don't know you like, they don't know you like Jesus knows you. They don't know you like God knows you. And only time will heal these wounds for these people. Or they could repent, but that would be like that would be like the answer. But they have to stop wanting to hurt you first, then acknowledge that they were causing somebody pain. And until this person fully goes through what they were trying to put you through, they're not going to understand what they were doing to others. And so it's almost like they have to go through this process. And if this deliverance person figures out what these people did, it's going to say to them that they need to repent. And that's the only way that's going to get them out of the 9 of Swords and 10 of Swords. Yeah, this person, I'm serious. These people could have been people that you actually loved in the past. See, I get that on your own, you're stable, beautiful, attractive, lovely, like sweet, kind. You would make a great partner to somebody. Just not these people, And I also feel like you don't fall into temptation. Like you have been tempted before, but you don't fall into temptation. There's a reason that you have this ability, this gift, this present. There's a reason for it. And I get that moving forward, you'll know the red flags to look for. Okay. With these people, you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that this person resembles how that person was. And then you'll just not engage with them. But the world is not full of people that are only like that. It's just they do exist. To you, I would just consider them to be karmic. Some people don't believe in karma. I don't know what the hell they replace that with, but I do think I look at things through a karmic lens to see if that's there. It's not always present, but sometimes it is. The 8 of Cups, like the only answer is walking away. This person needs to literally, they're disappointed. They're so dissatisfied. They're tired of their current situation and job. They want a get rich quick scheme. They want a bippity boppity boop, happens overnight type situation. They want a come up. They see you glowing up and they're like, what can I take from that person? How about these people should have never gotten used to taking from you from the beginning, because what they take doesn't belong to them and it will never be with them. I don't know why they have not realized that. And this person could be getting ready to relocate. If they're getting kicked out of a home, like another way I could see the 5 of Pentacles and the Hierophant, they could be getting thrown out of a home or separating from a lover and then thus being thrown out of a home. This person is going to have to pay their own bills. They're just pissed off and they need to look elsewhere for happiness. You are not the answer to this person's happiness, nor is your downfall. Your downfall would not make this person satisfied. They need to see you literally burning at the stake type shit. Like these people are just really radical. They're out of their minds. So they've got to look elsewhere for happiness. Find another karmic that's like them to be with, because you are not accepting bums into your life. point blank period. You're too strong for that. Like all of these failed attempts that these people have done at putting you on a moon cycle and making you lose weight, gain weight, lose whatever. What God has given you, God has given to you infinitely. So people still look at you and see you as attractive. And this person is about to go through it when it comes to that. Oh my gosh. They're going to be wishing that they never did this. I'm serious. They're going to be wishing in the future, damn, I should have never done that. That's what their thoughts are going to be. King of Swords, because they are actively being judged by somebody who can, bring the sword down on these people. Metaphorically, not like literally, because people don't even use swords nowadays. But it just means like bringing the javel down on them. Like this person could easily be like, okay, y'all got to get out of the collective's energy. You cannot manipulate the police against them, which is crazy that these people would even think to do that. I mean, and this is why the devil is prideful. It gets people stuck in their ego, stuck in their pride, thinking that they're more powerful than everybody else. No, they're only more powerful than the other weak-ass mother effers that they come across on a day-to-day basis. Page of Cups. And they need to be more concerned about how they're going to provide for this child that wants the best of everything, that this child they've never disciplined, that's going to throw a fit and throw a bottle against the wall anytime they don't get what they ask for. Oh my goodness. They need to figure out how they're going to take care of this child, these people. Not be worried about you. You didn't have a child with these people. You're not going to. If that were in the cards for you, that would be sad as shit. But that's not what I see. I see a real person coming in, somebody that's on your level. If you're the emperor, I see an empress, and then vice versa. That's literally what I'm picking up on. And these people are not going to show up as anything high enough. They're not on your level. I also think that it's weird that there's a lot of masculine energy showing up here. So I don't know if that's competition, or it seems to me like men are more competitive than women. I don't know. Maybe it's balance with that. But this is like an unhealthy obsession with competition. And maybe, whatever these spells and rituals that they were doing, obviously could have really hurt and harmed someone. This is why these people are suffering. And I hate to see that their children are going to suffer, but these people just need to take several seats. And they also need to start caring about this kid. What's wrong with them? Queen of Pentacles. It's not your job to take care of these people's children. It's theirs. You did not create these kids. You're not going to be responsible for them. Somebody wants you to like take care of them. Ew. And it's multiple people. They're like, you just foot the bill. No, bitch, get out of here. You're not going out to dinner ordering $1,000 dishes and bottles of wine that you can't pay for. These people want that type of life, but they don't want to do anything for it. They think that they can just sacrifice people to the devil and be given it. That is a bold-faced lie. And I don't even think the devil spreads that. I think humans do. Page of Swords. And these people are still watching you. They're like, well, we'll just monitor them heavily. And be like, listen, you can do whatever you feel you need to do. But when it comes to me, when it comes to the collective, they're not going to be seeing anything. Not anything that they can use. That's for damn sure. Most likely they're going to see you moving forward, being rewarded, being in the energy of the star, getting justice. They're not going to like what they see. I can promise them that. Having a true lover come in, all of that. Six of Cups, having children with somebody else. Yeah, they're not going to like this. They don't like that you put up a boundary. You could have been like, okay, we're taking a break, you and somebody else, or you could just not be telling people your business. I would literally, if you have business ideas and stuff, don't tell the world, not until you've got it in the stage where it's already in process and that nobody can just try to pray that you don't reach it. And if you were to be telling your business and then all of a sudden have roadblock after roadblock, that's why I don't post on social media, nothing about my personal life. I completely, have stopped doing that altogether. And it's a very significant amount of the evil eye that was being sent to me was through that. Okay. A very big percentage of it. And it was not even like I was flaunting my life. It's just like if I would go somewhere, I would tag the place. That's it. Boring. Like for these people to be this like obsessed, like they got a spirit of monitoring, spirit of obsession. Because from my perspective, oh, this person's here. Oh, they're there. You probably turned your location off. And these people can't figure out where you're at. And it makes them afraid because they feel like if they can't control, they don't have control of the situation. God does. Ace of Cups. And there's no prying this cup of love out of your hands. Like that nobody can go up and take this love that God's giving you away. And I promise you that. Also, when you create this new family, it's going to be founded on love and respect and peace. And these people, they started this whole thing of like having children, having relationships, having everything that they founded what they have on. Okay, everything that they have today is founded on the devil's energy, greed, stealing, and etc. I don't need to list all of the things, but you know what they are. That's why this will all come crumbling down. Because if the foundation is not built with God, then it's not built on shit. It's like the Three Little Pigs, like the wolf will come and blow your house down no matter what, if it's built on the devil's time and the devil's energy with the devil's supply, which is basically the devil can't give you anything. All it can do is take your own shit, hide it from you, and then present it to you like it's somebody else's. That's all it can do. But even that, it can only operate under what God allows. And God is saying that you need to be left alone because you're over here working and minding your business. These people are looking to profit. They want to benefit and profit. And they feel like you are the answer to that. And then they also they're neglectful to this child. Four of Pentacles. And these people will never get their hands on what God gave you. This is what you came into this world with. I think it's crazy that other people want to be so possessive with what God gave you. That's like insane. That's insanity right there. These people will never have what God gave you. What else do we need to know? Yeah. It feels to me like the blessings are coming to you. These people are confused. They thought that they were going to be blessed. When does serving the devil ever bless anybody? That's what I want a witch and warlock to tell me. When does serving Satan or whatever, I'm sorry if I say that word wrong. Somebody's like, you don't pronounce your T's, it sounds retarded. My bad. But these people need to literally be like showing us proof and evidence of whatever they're doing, it going right. Because from my perspective, anything that involves the devil is going to go wrong. Whether it goes wrong today, tomorrow, it goes wrong continuously. I think if we studied the stories of the people that say that they've tried to sell their soul to the devil, I think we would find out that those were miserable people, no matter how much whatever stuff they came into. And I don't feel like you can steal the star of another person. Even if you take that person's life, their destiny goes with them. Okay. And destiny is something that, depending on your choices, you will come into alignment with it either now in this lifetime or the next lifetime. Once you realize that your higher self is God, that is the first stage of being in your destiny. That's the whole point of life, to realize that we're not separate. And then from then on, all of the other gifts and everything else that we need to succeed will come into view, and it'll manifest very easily. That's what I'm saying about your energy, because you guys don't have that resistance, Queen of Cups. You guys are also not trying to be somebody that you're not. You're like, I don't need to be the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is a sweetheart. She's somebody that is definitely respected, devoted, careful with money, love kinding, perfect lover and wife, but you're not in that type of energy where you're like needing to fulfill that role. Okay. Where these people think that that's what you need to do. Be their wife, I will make Belle my wife. You know, it's given that energy. It's like, no, you won't. Belle would rather sleep with a beast, okay, than Gaston's weird ass. And he was a beast in his own right. So funny. You went within, and this is why you have the power. Literally. You also could be getting ready to go on a vacation. In the next probably 6 months, you may get offered one or vacation time from work. Okay? Treat yourself. If you've got it, treat yourself. So if you got the time off work, if you got the finances, if you've got a free vacation that gets gifted to you, treat yourself. Don't just think that the world is out to get you, because it's not. It's really only these couple people, and they just want to have, they want to just like, I don't even know how to explain it. These people just want to take everything that you have, basically. They don't actually want to be with you. The world, these people have no intention in actually loving you. Like, that's just what they say. That's what they say to people to get close to them. Oh, I love you. I care about you. I want the best for you. Confirmation. 4 of Cups. But they really are not pleased with what the universe has given them. This is like one of the destiny swipe cards. Well, it's a failed destiny swipe card. It's always going to fail, because like I said, God is not stupid. So these people have lost, they're depressed, they're, you know, they need to find something that inspires them other than watching you. Watching you is not going to pay their bills. It's not going to fix their issue. Okay, and if they want to be threatening towards you, they're going to have to deal with something, you know, an avenging angel. Why have you been fired from all the jobs that you did, and how can you not be fired? Welcome in, anonymously, Rave Girl. Okay. So my first question would be, how long ago were these jobs that you did? Because I'm getting that, you know, like as you evolve as a person, but as you grow up, you'll try out different jobs. Sometimes they'll be like kind of similar to the other one that you tried, but it's all a trial period. Okay, to give you a little bit of an idea of what it would feel like to do that job. And if it's not in alignment with your bigger picture, then that could definitely be a reason that you get fired. Also, you know, if it was when you were younger, then when we're younger, I feel like, well, some people, maybe if they're brought up in a military household, they're very, like, I want to say, they can be relied upon to show up on time and all of that. You know, they're very disciplined, but you kind of, when you're an adult and you're a younger person, you kind of have to like discipline yourself and teach yourself, you know, and also you have to understand that some of, you worked 16 jobs. Were they all similar? You haven't had a legit job since 21. Okay. So this is what I'm getting, is that you have a higher purpose. Let me get rid of this one weird person. That's clearly insane. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Well, I'm apologizing for this person that I'm rebuking. Okay. Weirdo. Sorry about that. All right, so let's look and see. Because I get that, well, when you were younger, it was harder for you to show up. So you worked 16 jobs. Were they completely different jobs? I just feel like these jobs were not, they were not the one job. Maybe the one job that's for you is going to be unorthodox. It could have to do with healing, or it could have to do with like charity work. I mean, those are 2 things that I'm getting. And none of the jobs that you were doing before offered that. So I feel like, don't be hard on yourself. if you're looking for a job, there are a lot of jobs out there. There's remote jobs, there's jobs you can do from home. You know, whatever your circumstances is, I don't feel like that will continue to be moving forward, but I feel like your path is going to be an entrepreneur path where you pave a way for yourself. I don't feel like you working for a person is going to keep you satisfied. That's just what I'm kind of getting from God. And I also get that you investing in, you enjoy entertaining, okay, and you've been doing that and you enjoy it, but you don't want it forever. Totally understandable. And you're in school and finally got your degree. Well, that's amazing. What are you getting your degree in? That says something right there. I would be putting to use the degree. Absolutely. And just know that, like, well, depending on what you got your degree in, I feel like you should not have a problem getting a job with a degree, but it sometimes, depending on how specific it is, whatever that you're wanting to do, you'll have to search for a little while because it could be that there's not a whole lot or there is a whole lot. That's one thing that you find in the workplace. There's either not enough or there's too many of something. All right. So yeah, a 4-year degree that gives you freedom, such as finance. I like that. I was thinking a doctor in psychology. I like that. A doctor of divinity. But now you're thinking that you need something rough and able to talk business. I was just going to wonder, I was wondering if you got a degree in psychology. Yeah, but the freedom is not there. I think that it could be something like doctor, like a D. I would look into DD, Doctor of Divinity, see how long you have to go to school for that, and integrate that with whatever the knowledge that you already have. And then also, if you know stuff about finance, you could, what are those finance companies? You could put to use, like, all of the stuff that you already have would help. You could be a really good life coach, helping people get their lives in order and stuff like that. Oh, awesome. Yes, have a great Mother's Day. You practically have one with your experience, but you're only 2 years in, you're almost done. Yeah, you don't have to have any type of certification or degree to be a life coach. That's a good thing. You could definitely start something up practice-wise. I also get that hypnotherapy might be something that you're interested in. A lot of people will go to a hypnotherapist that can put them under, hypnosis. And I do know that it's extremely powerful. Magician. Yeah, I feel like your career is going to be more, I want to say, like esoteric, metaphysical, spiritual. It's going to be a mixture of everything that you've achieved. And that could be having like personal one-on-one consultations with people. That could be over Zoom or that could be in person. You just kind of have to choose how you want to serve the public. If you want to be able to do it like, with like basically connect with anybody in the world, or if you need to have a personal space. If it's something like massage therapy, then you'd have to have a space for that. But I'm getting that there are things that you could definitely look into with the Doctor of Divinity. And yeah, with the Doctor of Divinity thing, I think that you could probably start a nonprofit, some type of like church thing. That way you wouldn't have to pay taxes, and it could be all founded on you helping people. But you do have a lot of experience, it looks like, with manifesting. I feel like the correct career didn't come in before because you had to get to where you're at now. You didn't, when you were having these jobs before, you didn't have all of the pieces of the information about yourself. You didn't have everything. But I do feel like this magician energy talks about well suited for business, science, and high-tech fields. Being a risk taker and an overachiever. When you're working for yourself, you will like literally work and work and work and work. And if you find that you enjoy it, because I'm not getting that this is like literally to teach people to do magic, but it is something about helping people become disciplined with determination, strength, and be able to concentrate their energies. And this is what's giving like life coach, be able to concentrate their energies into one thing at a time. The Nine of Swords, also this energy, okay, this Nine of Swords energy, that could have been really following you around because these past jobs just, you know, they make you feel, it breaks your self-worth down, okay, being let go from a job. But you have to understand that if you're not moving in the right direction, the universe will do one of two things besides giving you signs and stuff like that. And I know when you were younger, you were aware of the signs, but you weren't aware of the exact signs, how to interpret it, which now you're aware of that. So that's also something you can help people with. But the Nine of Swords just talks about fear and self-doubt clouding your thinking. And these jobs in the past, the reason that you got let go from them is because you weren't moving towards your actual destiny, your actual future. So the universe is going to do one of two things. It's going to either bring in a new job opportunity that will be in alignment with that future, or it's going to fire you from the opportunity that you have. And if the universe was just going to, think of it this way, be grateful because you got to try 16 different things out. The universe allowed you to experience it, but then notified you basically that it's not something you were supposed to stay in for very long. And so that's why they didn't work out, because they weren't meant to. I know that seems really simple, but like they literally were not meant to. But they gave you an idea of what those types of jobs would be like so that you could then go, okay, I think I'm going to go to school and become certified. Yes, you absolutely could do finance. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it would be I think it would be separate from the church thing, but you could absolutely do finance. I mean, if you know how to do people's taxes, you could help people with their taxes. And it's like being a financial advisor. I would just look in and see what legality there is with that, because I'm getting that you want to work smarter, not harder. And deciding, it's going to take you a little bit of time to decide, like, okay, where do I want to concentrate my energy? Because it feels to me like when you figure out what you want to put all of your energy into, it's going to like blow up in a good way. It's kind of like you're adding in all these different elements of what you want. So this is what I'm getting, is that you having the education is a learning process. It's teaching you a lot. Your finances aren't in order at the moment, which is your fault. You didn't manage them. You just spent. That is something that I've known about you. But I also get that you're young. Okay. And so, sorry, let me write down this other person. And so literally, it's okay. It's okay to mismanage funds. It's okay to make mistakes. You're learning. Okay. This is how we learn. But when you can recognize it, that's the power right there. You can recognize it and go, okay, this next time I'm not going to spend that money. I'm going to put it to the side. I mean, that's the wisdom right there. And then being able to actually do that, because you can have the thought, but putting it into action. I feel like you're somebody that puts it into action once you have the thought. So yeah, it won't be a repeating. I feel like the more that you're afraid of repeating the past mistakes, the more that will happen. But I also feel like the divine is leading you to become somebody who can help people process trauma in some type of way. And it could be emotional, financial trauma, debt. I know that there's companies out there that will like help people get out of debt. Going through the different avenues of what you could do and asking Chariot, interesting, Magician and Chariot. So this could be talking about, goals achieved through self-control, fast movement forward, willpower and discipline. This could also represent like police detective energy. I mean, you'd probably have that naturally within you already. You could very well be like a detective. You do have that capability within you. I don't think that that's what you want to do with this lifetime, but I do feel like, you know, especially well suited for science and high-tech fields. You want to do something, think of it this way, you want to do something that AI cannot do. Two of Cups, you've got a soul contract. This is why the other jobs were not working out, because you couldn't continue to stay in them. They were keeping you stagnant. I also get that you're healing a broken relationship with like education or studying or something. Yeah. I'm also getting research. So you have a very intelligent mind. You can process the things in science as well. I feel like in general, you probably don't have to try that hard. King of Wands. So there will be some competition, but I really don't get that the competition is going to be a problem for you getting a job. I'm not picking up on that. I'm getting that if it's just you deciding whether you want to work for yourself or work for another company. But you're going to end up having some type of degree, some type of certification, something, and you're going to use it. The Fool. See, the Fool is not a negative card. Yeah, you're being told not to be deceived. Something could come up to make it look like, oh, the easy way to do this is to follow this already made program. But I feel like you're going to see right through that. Okay. And it has to do with working for other people, them not ever being pleased or wanting to overwork you. And just know that when you do become somebody that's like a counselor, a shaman, a healer, a teacher, you may end up teaching something, you know, you basically learn how do I say this? When other people have issues going on, you learn how to deal with those. So I also feel like that's part of, you know, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to invest in anything that has to do with like research. I mean, you would even be good in journalism. There's a lot that you could do, but to me, I feel like your work schedule should be not a 9 to 5, like something that you make. That's what feels right. Four of Pentacles. And you already have everything that you need within you, but by getting certified and actually being licensed and stuff, when it comes to any type of work that you do that is professional, you can always start something up on your own. Like, let's say that you get like, yes, there are a lot of scams like those horses. Yeah. So I would just do some research on them. Definitely do some research in them and see where in whatever state or whatever part of the world you're at, see what the laws are. Because I know that you don't have to be certified to be a reader. You don't have to be I don't think you have to be certified to be a shaman, but shamans, and from my opinion, well, the shaman that I knew, the shaman people, they use a lot of like plant medicine and substances and stuff. You could go down that avenue and study that. I mean, that's very interesting. But I get that you're pretty much, you're on to something here. You want to be free of responsibility, not having to answer to somebody. And you can easily build up something on your own and then not let it overwhelm you. Like if you offer sessions, make them 30 minutes, probably not more than 30-minute sessions. Okay. And charge hundreds of dollars for them. Like if you were to get hypnotherapy license and start to use that, I would be charging like $300. And because you're going to be able to get if anybody brings you a problem, you will get to the core root of it. That's why I said detective. It's giving that energy. Eight of Pentacles. And if you decide to do this work yourself, like building, like building something from the ground up, you'll be really, really happy and grateful that you did that, rather than having to like depend on an external system. Even if that brings in clients, you'll get a lot of referral energy. So yeah, I would be thinking that this is definitely possible. And as far as having the space to do it, if you do it online, I mean, you could very well meet people in person and do it in person, but if you do it online, then all you need to have is like a tiny little corner in some type of room. So, if you do it in person, if this is going to be like therapy sessions or hypnotherapy or psychology or anything that you're doing like that in person, then you'll have to have a physical place. But I'm not getting that that's 100% necessary. You could do a lot of it over the internet. Emperor, and you're going to be a leader. I feel like you're also going to write a book about something. The book is going to be maybe like 5 years down the line if you choose to do that. But by then you'll have enough, I want to say, evidence, you'll have enough knowledge to write a book at that time. So that is wow, the world. And people will read this book. It's giving like psychologists, but more enlightened thought. So things to think about, but you're going actually in the right direction. I feel like finishing your schooling would be good. Looking on what you can get certified online, make sure that it's legit, that it's accepted, and then looking to see because if you wanted to, you could literally start a website probably today for very little money, if not any money, that's a life coach website. And you could be like, I give the first one for free, first session for free. That would hook the shit out of people. That would be like, or first session, you get a huge discount, right? And that way you build up a new clientele. But I feel like it's just going to take you dedicating some of your spare time, okay, to building that up and doing that. But you will get a lot of people that are of referral. Like they get referred. Yeah, and it will make you a Nine of Pentacles. I feel like you already are this Nine of Pentacles. You just forgot. You forgot you forgot about using the gifts that God gave you. Your intuition, your insight, your knowledge, you forgot about that. When you were younger, you didn't have as much of that due to the fact that you were still experiencing wanting to figure out what is best for you. And everybody's got to go through that phase. So I wouldn't be judging the past like, oh, I got let go from 16 jobs. I didn't have even that many. I got let go from jobs as well. And some I just had to walk away from because they were too toxic. But you'll learn that that's not something to be looked down upon. That's something that literally, it's not something to be looked down upon. Something that's kind of just a natural part of the process. Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles. This is God coming in to support you. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, getting licensed. And then if you don't want to get a hypnotherapist license or go down that route, look and see if there's if you need a life coach license or what you need to do for that. Because I get that you could help people with their finances. That's part of what you could help them with. You could help them with their relationship goals, and you could help them with their day-to-day, what they should be focusing on getting their life together. And I feel like, when it comes to competition, nobody can really compete with the knowledge that you have, because it's a completely unique perspective that this world has not seen. There's something about it. Queen of Swords. Yeah, you could teach people how to put up boundaries, how to cut people off when they're not serving their highest and best good. And you may have to cut a few people off throughout your time of becoming a successful entrepreneur person. Okay. And it's literally, it's never to hurt that person. We don't ever do that. It's only to preserve ourselves, that if we have to cut ties with somebody or with something. Because again, the Queen of Swords is somebody like when you were younger, you hadn't gone through the stuff that you've been through to where you're at now, to where you can have these boundaries. And especially if you have clients and stuff, oh my gosh, or customers, clients, you always want to have that professional boundary there. And so that was something that you didn't have when you were younger that you do have now. So I see this all as a blessing. The Moon. Don't spend too much time worrying about it. Know that when other people want to come compete with you, or they want to challenge you, or your authority, it's going to bring bad luck on them. Okay. I'm also getting that you could help people feng shui their houses, like make their homes balanced. So if you think about all of the different, you manifested the recognition of your perspective. That's exactly it. Yeah, absolutely. And now your perspective has changed because you're seeing things from a bigger picture. And the fact that you even asked, why did these ones not work out? That means you're moving in the right direction. The Four of Cups. Let these other people be dissatisfied. I feel like you don't have to accept when you do something your own, like you get your own certification, you start up your own website, all of that. When you don't join a partner or partner group, then you don't have to accept whatever the hell they want to give you, which is basically how much they want to pay you, right? Like you can accept what you want to be paid, what you feel is appropriate. So yeah, I would continue. Yeah, I would definitely continue on the same road that you're on. Go to school, get that certification, and think about what you want to do. Like when you have this certification, or if you want to do life coaching, and that you don't have to be certified for that, but literally whatever it is that you decide, take little steps each day to work towards it. And just know that, you may be approached at some point, especially when you get your license, or if you have an internship or externship, you may be approached at some point, like, hey, would you like to join our blah, blah, blah? And this is just showing that, maybe you should host a site full of other therapists and other people who are, I want to say, like, they have spiritual degrees, or they have holistic medicine degrees or something like that. Maybe you could start a host of people like that and host them through your service. Wow, that's a really freaking good idea. You probably don't have to have any license to do that. And then also the stuff that you have with career, what relationship are you healing? The one with money, the one with resources. Okay, let's get one more. Yeah, 10 of Wands. Because you don't want to look, if you end up partnering with another person, or joining their, like, whatever it is that they have already going on, then you'll be subjected to having to play by their rules. I feel like you not having rules to have to live by is going to be the best thing, and it'll be better for your schedule. Yeah. So that's what I would do. Continue to work on that. Continue to work on yourself, and don't get too antsy. The good thing is, like, if you start to feel like, oh, I need to get something done, that's your destiny calling. That's God calling you. Confirmation. That's God calling you to start the vehicle and get moving in the right direction. And I feel like you could literally, well, depending on what you decide you want to do with therapy and with healing, that's where it's going to be at for you, is in that type of energy. It could even be like psychology, but I'm getting that, what you were drawn to initially is good for you. So think about those things and see what you want to do. Like, you can always, just like the other jobs, you can always try something out and see how it goes. But I feel like you investing in something that's for you, that's self-made, that's like long-term. That's like a long-term thing. And when you invest in working for other people, that's like a short-term thing. So if you could take that concept and be like, okay, well, I don't have to work for another organization, another company, I can work for myself, then that opens up a lot of freedom. And with you having that freedom, that means you can make your own schedule, you can pay yourself, you can charge what you want, and as time goes on, it'll become more professional. So, you can also give people a discount, like I was saying, to whatever it is, giving them a discount to their first session or something like that. And trust me, you'll find that people come back because they've got stuff going on, and you'll be able to help them with it. Not that you can fix it for them, but you can give them guidance and direction so that they can fix it for themselves. And then in the process, be saving money. When you make money off of this business, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, do I still want to even get the degree? Still get the degree. You're already in school. You're almost there. There's no point to give up on that now. I feel like all of that will back what you already have. And if you decide to do a Doctor of Divinity or life coaching, those things are really, really compatible. But you just got to get it started, and don't be afraid. All right, you guys, thank you for making it to the ending of this reading. I love you so much. I hope you guys have an awesome evening. For those of you that are interested in the books that are tagged in the description box below, well, they're linked in the description box below. They're tagged in the tagged products. The first book is The Truth of God. It's an advanced intuitive living workbook written by Michael Steadman, who is a Doctor of Divinity. I just got the table so wet with drinking that ice water. So this book is priceless. Oh my gosh, it's got so many good techniques in it. So I'm going to read the back of it, then I'll explain the techniques. It's got prayer, it's got grounding. This book teaches you about your higher self being God. And then it gives you techniques so that you can create the reality that you want. And with God, and with your higher self, with the divine. So the truth of God is an evolutionary encounter with that which we know as God, gaining new perspective into who we are and from where we came. First, the journey to God takes you into the realm where it all began, making many discoveries along the way. Next, the story of God explains what has seemed to be indescribable, creation and the path that led to what we perceive to be reality. Last, in the spiritual workbook, Michael gives information and techniques that will allow us to free ourselves from those ideas and emotions that are hindering our spiritual progress, and methods to open up the channel between the conscious mind that we are aware of and the inner consciousness that many are becoming aware of. So this book, there's so many techniques in it, okay? I'm going to talk about the techniques that I use every day. So the God technique is a technique that I use every day. And usually there's something that's going on, like a dream or something else, that I'm wanting to get really grounded, really connected in with God's source. And so I do the God technique, and it is a major shift in consciousness. It's like when I first did the God technique for the first time and I got fully connected, it was like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like literally like going light speed. It's going light speed into infinite energy, just so much clarity. So the God technique helps you raise out of your ego's consciousness into the consciousness of God, so that you're looking out through the eyes of source. So you see everything differently. And not only that, it's like extremely powerful. So I use that technique to get above things when everyone and everything's higher self is God. This is a very easy book to read, by the way. So this is just me throwing you guys a bone. So the God technique, chef's kiss. I use that every single day to vibrationally get above stuff. And there's no witchcraft. There's nothing in this world that can make that technique not work. There's nothing, because this is with God. It's like God is the ultimate power of everything. Then there is the joy versus anger technique. And you guys see me use that throughout the reading when I'm asking questions like, is this person associated with that? I'm using the joy versus anger technique. I'm listening. And the joy versus anger technique is a yes and no answering system with your higher self God that works on your gut feeling, so that you develop a response system. And that way you can't be deceived. Because your higher self God knows everything. Literally everything that's good for you. It already knows what's in alignment. The spiritual bank, I love it. And then the mind technique. Okay, well, the mind technique will help you clear up the thoughts and beliefs that are creating the reality that you're in. And thoughts and beliefs are not for our highest and best good. And same thing with he's got an entire chapter on expectations and control and how that can mess things up as well. How long is the expectations and control? Okay, I'm going to read just this small part. Sometimes we have placed an idea into the spiritual bank that we think would be a great experience. The only thing is that we don't see the bigger picture to understand that it's not in our highest good for our true being. Maybe the same type of outcome could happen sooner if allowed to happen in a different way. It is our expectations on how something has to happen or how it's supposed to look that limits many of these deposits from manifesting. From our true perspective as God, this three-dimensional universe is only made up of our conscious essence, unconditional love, joy, compassion, mercy, peace. It is only the false perceptions, concepts, and beliefs that we have brought into our creation universe that make it appear otherwise. So extremely wise right there. So yeah, the mind technique clears the mental and emotional baggage that you're dragging around with you. Also, this book will teach you how to get compatibility on any situation, 1 being the lowest compatible, 10 being the highest compatible. Because yes and no questions will get you so far, but then on some situations, if you really want to go somewhere and you ask and you get no, don't go. And then because, well, you can test it out. You can go and have some shit go down that you would be like, oh, Spirit already told me not to go. I already checked. Like, I want to go to a couple places and the answer is no. And I haven't figured out why, because I thought that I cleared it. But, you know, life is a continual progression. I will say that. I use these techniques every day. Then there is the preemptive strike, where you write down all of the stuff that you've been believing about yourself and you go through and you do the mind technique and you clear it and get rid of it. So that's the truth of God. It's an advanced intuitive living workbook written by Michael Steadman. The link to this is in the description box below, and it's also tagged as a product. Now, for those of you that are interested in learning to read cards for yourself and for others, I have written a book for that. It is called Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells, written by me, Astraea Love. And I have also this book tagged in the tagged products and linked in the description box below. And I also have the original Rider-Waite, which is what it's written on, with the description on the cards. I also have that tagged and linked below. So if you are interested in learning how to read cards for yourself and for others, the tarot system is a deck of cards that's got 78 cards total. 22 of them are major. They're called the major arcana. Those are the major transition cards. So who is Vassago? Vassago was an Ars Goetia spirit that King Solomon worked with at the time that he was building his temple. And King Solomon had a ring from Archangel Michael. This is how the story goes. And so he would use that ring to conjure up whatever, and then he would put it to use. Well, when he was talking to Vassago, Vassago was like, I don't have to listen to you. I have to listen to Jesus Christ. Like, we listen to Jesus. That's who we bow down to. And then King Solomon's like, what? Who is this Jesus person? And Vassago's like, well, Jesus hasn't come yet, but he still is an eternal being. So like, and then King Solomon was like, okay, basically it was like, I can't use you for building my temple, which I don't even know how that's possible, unless it was Nephilims or something like that. But Vassago is not a Nephilim. Anyways, so King Solomon never did anything else with Vassago that I know of, other than have that one conversation. And then other spirits also confirmed Jesus is coming, and it really kind of pissed him off. He thought he was the most powerful. So this book starts off with a disclaimer. I'm totally good with you guys using the disclaimer when you read for people, to let them know that tarot is a system. Now, how Vassago explained it to me and how God showed it to me is that while you're a human, you will go through experiencing every card in the deck. Okay, the major transitions are the major arcana cards, like the Lovers, the Hermit, the Fool, the Justice, the World, the Sun, the Moon, the Star, the Death, the Hangman, the Wheel of Fortune, the High Priestess. Maybe we'll read from the High Priestess today. Okay. So for each of the major arcana cards, I've created a tarot card spread. You do this tarot card spread with this deck. It gives you the information. Then when you go do the spell ritual, and it's basically, each of them are different. It's not like a traditional spell. It's with God and the Holy Spirit. But when you go to do that, you already have the information that you are focusing upon. So that's how I designed it. Then, so yeah, telling people that tarot can reveal the truth in a very abrupt way. And so if they're not ready to hear the truth, then maybe they need to be aware of what questions they're asking. I have seen tarot just cut like a knife before, like information wise, okay? So it can make somebody completely aware of something that they were not aware of. Now, the thing when it comes to the future, there is a definite future that God has, but we have infinite possibilities of what we are going to choose, what lane we're going to go down, right? This book will help you to figure out which one of those lanes is going to be for your highest and best good. That's what it's designed to do. So letting these people know, whoever you're going to read for, if they want information from you, want to use you as a vessel to give them the information, because I know that there are people that have friends that are like, please, will you read for me? Will you just tell me da-da-da-da-da? And then you're like, okay, instead of just telling you the answer, because I've had friends before that I would straight up tell them the answer right then and there and not need to pull cards or anything like that. Like they would ask me and I would tell them the answer and then they would be unhappy with it. So then I would have to, before the shit came true, I would have to pull cards on it, but it would always, the cards would always show what I was talking about. So yeah, then I have created a prayer of protection, which you just want to, put a prayer is nothing more than a positive intention. But you want to put that forward when you're reading for yourself and for everybody else so that people feel safe and so that you are in communion with your higher self and with, the divine realm. And then I have created a initiation with Vassago that you can either use or not use. It's up to you. It's not gonna, it will only benefit you if you choose to use it. It's not gonna hurt you otherwise. But why I put it in here is because for me, when I'm pulling cards and I'm wanting to see a certain situation, I'm usually looking for something. I may be missing what's actually there. Vassago over time has helped me to become aware of I'm actually seeing, not what I want to see or what I think I want to see. And so that's how he's helped me. And that expands my vision quite a bit when I get unstuck from that. So this book has 22 tarot card spreads in it. We're going to read from the High Priestess, but it starts off with a 14 zodiac tarot card spread where you shuffle the entire deck. You pull 2 cards for each zodiac sign. One card will represent your south node where your ego's at. The other card represents your north node where your destiny's at, and then it gives you information of how to step into your destiny. Well, you'll get that information from looking at the cards. I will tell you that. And then the spell that goes along with that is to connect with your destiny. So it puts you right off and going in that direction from the very beginning. And I would do the disclaimer if you're reading for anybody else. And then I would do that every time you read for somebody else. And then if you're reading for yourself, do the prayer no matter what. Because that's just putting your best foot forward to begin with. And I would not if you're upset or if you're going through something, that's not the time to do this, okay? Do this when you feel like good, like you feel like it's the right time and you're not doing it from a place of fear or desperation. Why am I not seeing the High Priestess? It must be on this other page. There it is. Page 100. Okay. So I'm going to read a little bit from the High Priestess and then I'll show you how the book works for those of you that are interested. 100. Why did I stop right there? Stopped at the strength. Okay, here we go. So the Mystery Temple of the High Priestess. So for each of the cards in the tarot deck, there's going to be a number association, oh, thank you. I'm glad that you guys like the wings. There will be a number association. There will be a yes, no, cautious, or maybe association. And then there will also be a zodiac or more than one zodiac for some of them. So the High Priestess is the number 2. The answer is yes. And the zodiac is Cancer and Taurus. Cancer is a water sign, Taurus is an earth sign. So the High Priestess holds both inner peace and strength. The High Priestess is the card that tells you that in the upcoming days you'll be preoccupied. Psychic, intuitive, and spiritually driven prophetess. The High Priestess does not overreact. She remains calm and sure of the outcome. She is a beautiful, mysterious, yet unattainable woman of power. So you'll shuffle the whole deck, and then you'll pull one card for each position. So I'm just going to pull one card, and I'll read what's here, and then we'll see what the card says. So position 1 is the lunar crown of alchemy. Above the head of the High Priestess is the lunar crown of alchemy. The card pulled for this position will give you insight into the unconscious mind, the power of lunar cycles, night side magic, which is like nighttime magic, psychic intuition, prophetic messages, and dreams. You will gain insight into how aligned you are with the lunar energies, magics, enchantments, lunar spell work, and different cycles of the moon. You may realize that you had some of this going on. Like that could also be revealed. In the card for this position, if you were to pull the Moon Tarot card, that would be a very big double confirmation. Also, if the card that you pull for this position is a yes card, then you can be assured that you are in alignment with the lunar cycle of the moon. Okay, so let's see what we have. Justice. I like it. Wow. I like it. The card of personal integrity. So yeah, you're getting justice. That's part of a superpower. So this is how the book works. And then there's like how many positions there are for this? There's 8 tarot card positions for this spread. The High Priestess tarot card spell is for personal enlightenment, so that you can become enlightened about a certain subject. Okay, I'm going to go to the back of the book where I have a compendium of knowledge. If you were to be doing any of these readings and then be like, oh, I just pulled 2 of the major arcana cards, which are the major transitions, just to let you know, the rest of the deck is the pages, which is the children energies, the knights, the queens, the kings, the aces, which come from God, the 10s, which are conclusions, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the cups, the wands, the swords, and the cups, wands, swords, and pentacles. Okay. So we're looking at the High Priestess. So if you were to pull more than one of the major arcana cards out together, I would be like, okay, pause, go to the back of the book, see if that card combination is there with the first card. If it's not, go to the second card, because there may be an interpretation. So the High Priestess tarot card is the spiritual practitioner card. The High Priestess is a self-initiatory and public initiation process. The High Priestess tarot card indicates a spiritual seeker. If you pull the High Priestess tarot card in the reverse, you can rest assured that you are dealing with a dark practitioner of spirituality. If you pull the High Priestess tarot card in the reverse and then you pull the Devil card, it indicates that the dark High Priestess serves or worships the demonic. When you pull the High Priestess and then pull the Moon tarot card, it could indicate that someone is working with the moon to spiritually possess you. It just keeps going on and on and on, you guys, with the different card combinations. But check this out, okay? If you're interested in learning to read cards for yourself and others, I have the original Quick and Easy Rider-Waite and Vassago tarot card spreads and spells tagged in the tagged section, along with the Truth of God, and I have it linked in the description box below. But thank you guys for spending your time with me. I love you so much. Peace be with you. Okay, I hope you guys have an awesome day. If you could like this video, I would greatly appreciate it. Tap the notification bell, make sure you guys are subscribed. And yeah, all of that stuff really helps. Thank you guys for your donations, your support, your love, your likes, your shares, your subscribes. All of that means the world to me. Also, I do have another platform that's called the Psychic Tarot Angel Oracle. On that platform, I work with tarot cards and oracle cards, and we're working to getting it monetized over there so that I can accept super chats. So remember, you guys, if you have personal questions, make sure you tap that notification bell so you're notified when I go live so that you can ask your question. And all it is, you send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I set a 20-minute timer, and then we start working on your question, okay? All right, you guys, I love you so much. Peace be with you. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye. Have a wonderful evening.